The Republican caucus didn't want to get in this mess in the first place. You have about, 50 or 60 of them who really wanted to have this government shutdown fight, debt limit fight over Obamacare. The rest of them understood this was a dumb strategy, but they never wanted to take votes saying it was a dumb strategy because they're afraid of Republican primaries in which people will demand that they shut down the government and fight to the dead end against Obamacare. So I think a lot of Republicans in the House will actually be relieved when John Boehner gives them a reprieve from this and brings the Senate bill to the floor. Boehner also has a good excuse. Now that the House hasn't been able to agree on a package of his own, he can say, look, what else was I going to do? We don't have a plan to put forward to send to the Senate. We have no option other than to vote on the Senate's plan. So I think, we're talking about this being some hideously embarrassing thing, which it is, but it's just an extension of what we've been doing for the last 2 years. We had a debt limit fight like this back in 2011. A lot of this, I think, is already priced in, and we'll just continue to limp along like this. And I think the only possible end game is Democrats take back the House in an election in a year, and Republicans learn the lesson that they don't get away with this forever, and we have normal governance.
Richard Quest, let me ask you this. Well, we haven't really talked about much is the impact on the average American in terms of mortgages, loans, all the basics in normal financial life. Susie Orman last night was painting a pretty grim picture of what is likely to happen. Everything basically will be going up.
I've just got to take a little bit of issue with what Josh was just suggesting, because things will not go back to normal. The world has changed in the sense that you have China talking about de-Americanizing. You have the European Union, which I agree has by no means a bastion of sobriety on questions of fiscal probity, but they are there. The US cannot continue to play this sort of role and expect to get away with it.
They said this in 2011, too, and there were real costs from the debt ceiling fight that we had in 2011, but treasuries are still the safe haven investment for people all over the world. The dollar is still the world's reserve currency.
That will change. It may take time, but those sort of little changes are taking place. To answer your question, Piers, it's a slow burner. It's not going to be a massive thing overnight, but everybody will start to notice the effects. People talk about the 1979 debt, a little bit of hiccup. Interest rates nudged up a little bit. Some people paid high on their mortgages for that. Over time, it will have a corrosive effect. You cannot have this sort of dislocation in financial markets and not see an effect.
Christine Romans, final word to you. What is your gut feeling about how bad this is going to be?
I'm worried about the complacency. I'm worried that I hear so many people say, oh, it's not a big deal, or, look, stocks are up so much since last time we were here. Stocks have had a good run. We've had job creation. The economy, things aren't going to fall out of bed on October 17th. We're not going to worry about it. And I'm worried by the time you're worried about it, that's when my grandma doesn't get a Social Security check, and the Social Security Trust Fund might get an IOU for the interest paid, and you start to see things really getting ugly. And unforeseen links in the financial system start to come unraveled, and then it's too late.